Our participation in the Bill and Melinda Gates study, the Measures of Effective Teaching study, we now know that effective teaching can be measured. And if you haven't seen the reports, I recommend them to you. There were 6 districts nationwide. Dallas was one of them. 3,000 Dallas teachers actually participated. I don't know if anybody in this room might have participated. Middle school math teachers were primarily the teachers here in Dallas. And it was a really high-quality, far-reaching study. The MET study has articulated the problem. The current evaluation systems really cannot identify the most and the least effective teachers. When I was over at the Texas Education Agency, we did a survey of all the districts in the state. And I kid you not, but 98% of all the teachers in the state of Texas are rated proficient, just like Dallas ISD, 98%. So the current system simply cannot distinguish between the most and least effective teachers. So what does the MET project really help us understand? It added to our knowledge base. And we now know through that project and that study that there are really 3 components that have to be a part of a teacher evaluation system to get at the real question of teacher effectiveness. First of all, student achievement data really has to be a part of it. We can't just teach and not worry about whether students learn. We have to know whether students learn what they need to learn. Classroom observations continue to be a part of any good teacher evaluation system. And now we know that student surveys, having students talk about their classroom experience, is also an important part of a good teacher evaluation system. The MET project findings really discuss classroom observations as important, and we know that they've always been a part of good teacher evaluation systems because they provide rich feedback on practice. But in order to do that well, we have to make sure that the observers have rigorous training and that they're certified. They actually can be calibrated, and any observer who's in there can rate the kind of teaching and observation in the same way. And we also now know through the MET study that using multiple lessons and sometimes even shorter periods of time can be more productive than just these long, hour-long observations. And multiple observations by different observers is also helpful and important. The MET study also talked about student perception surveys, and really the key finding there was that they do provide a reliable indicator. Students do understand the quality of their experience. They can help us understand how well the teacher is reaching each individual student. And then finally, as we mentioned previously, student achievement, which needs to be adjusted to account for differences among students. We're granting that, but that does have to be an important part of a high-quality teacher evaluation. We do need to have a balanced approach, and the MET study looked at somewhere between 33% and 50% of the weight, the overall weight of those 3 components, should be on the student achievement gains. So it doesn't need to be the whole evaluation. It's about a third to a half is what the study says. In Dallas ISD, we have already gotten some input from our teachers through a couple of surveys and focus groups. And in fact, in Dallas ISD, we are looking at the survey says 35% should be student achievement. So that's where we are in Dallas ISD right now. An effective evaluation system really has to be fair, accurate, and rigorous. It has to evaluate teachers in those 3 ways. It has to make sure that the teacher's ability has to look at the teacher's ability to deliver high-quality instruction and whether or not that teacher actually raises student achievement. In addition, it does need to target professional development and support, because we don't want to just talk to teachers about what they could do differently without providing that support and training to help them actually make changes in their teaching practice in the classroom. It does have to raise expectations for teaching, and it has to also increase accountability for effective teaching. So the Dallas ISD Teacher Excellence Initiative will also will reward effective teachers. We're going to support a career track for teachers, and we're also going to make sure that we compensate teachers for what the district and the profession actually values the most, and that is effective teaching.